Welcome back to Outdoors Type. Sleeps Hill Reserve is an ideal place to go walking near Adelaide. It's basically situated between Linton and Belair. It's where the old Mitcham and Sleeps Hill quarries were located. These were once busy places integral to the development of South Australian railways and industry. It's also nearby to the site where two tunnels and two viaducts once stood as part of the original and much more torturous route up through the Adelaide Hills to Nairne. Stick around and we'll go exploring and see what we can uncover of the old Sleeps Hill tunnels and viaducts. Sleeps Hill was named after a man called Samuel Sleep. He arrived in South Australia in the late 1830s and worked as a shepherd for the South Australia Company. Sleeps Hill also refers to the group of quarries that were in use in the 19th and 20th centuries. The railway was a valuable means of transport for the quarry industry in Mitcham. From 1909, a branch line ran parallel to the main line and the Clapham branch to serve the Sleeps Hill quarries. For a short time, Sleeps Hill was the southern extent of SAR suburban train workings until the double track passed through the new tunnels to Eden Hills in 1916. We're down here first at the site of the old Sleeps Hill station. The Sleeps Hill station was originally built for the quarries. The platforms here lasted until the mid-50s when the line was closed down and the tunnels were converted to storage. For a time they stored ammunition, they stored valuable art, they became mushroom farms and nowadays even host fringe shows and are used for wine storage. It's a very private location to get to these tunnels now, so I can't show you anything of Tunnel 1. I can show you perhaps a little bit of the entrance, but you can't see anything. It's all behind barbed wire and still highly secure. Tunnel 2, I'll show you a little bit of what we found as we explored during the recent Fringe event, and we'll see if we can get to the tunnel opening, the end tunnel opening of Tunnel 2, and I'll show you the remains of the viaduct supports. Stick around, let's go exploring. In 1995, the western track of the double broad gauge track was converted to standard gauge, and the eastern track was doubled to provide one of the 5 crossing points on the current Adelaide to Belair suburban passenger line. In the 1940s, the Sleeps Hill tunnels were guarded. One contained reserves of ammunition as well as valuable artefacts and paintings that were display items on tour from London. Since then, the tunnels have been used as mushroom farms and wine storage. Tunnel number 2 recently hosted a fringe show. Well, hopefully I've found the right track and the right entrance. Let's keep rolling. The Sleeps Hill, Eden Hills section of the line had 2 tunnels and 2 massive viaducts. One was 110 feet high while the other was 75 feet high. A third tunnel with a double track completed in 1916 bypassed the original route. Here we go, we found the small spur trail which heads further downhill. Gets a little bit thinner now. You know what the fun part of all this downhill walking is you know you got to get back up again, and I'm not looking forward to that. Well, we've made it to the Sleeps Hill tunnel entrance of tunnel number 2. This is quite a mythical graffiti spot as well. See if we can spot any tags, you know. It does look like there's a door there, but that's all been concrete blocked up. I wonder if This is far from the end of the fringe show that we entered the tunnel from the other end and walked quite some distance in. I wonder how far we are from that last room that was on display there in that fringe show. We've come quite a way down the hill. You can see how steep the terrain is here. You can still see the shape of the old tunnel entrance. At one point in time, steam trains used to come smashing out of this tunnel and head across two steel viaducts, which you'll see in the historical images that I'm peppering throughout the video here. You see across the valley there, you'll see a support for the viaducts. There's two viaducts. There was one that went from here across to that small spur there and then headed off to the right. Not sure if you can see it there, but there's a small cutting just in front of the main cutting where the railway now is. The line headed through that cutting and joined up with the main line a little further over to the right there. This is very steep country, so I'll be very careful, but if you look down here, you can see the first two pylons of the viaducts. Evidence still remains that these impressive structures were here once. You can see down below there, that is the viaduct track. So if you want to get a bit closer to some of the supports, you can. That viaduct track is accessible from Shepherd's Hill Recreation Park. But that's a long walk up from South Road there, from a completely different direction to the one I've come from, coming down from Belair. Well, that's it, folks, and thanks for joining me on this short explore of the Sleeps Hill quarries, the old tunnels and the viaducts up here in the Adelaide Hills. There's not a lot more to say, but if you did enjoy the video, then give me a thumbs up and subscribe, and I'll see you in the next video. Bye for now.